Have you ever stopped to think about the strength and weight of waiting? It's not just any kind of waiting, but the kind where every second feels like an eternity. Life seems to have taught this person to be patient, even when the soul screamed with anxiety. They waited so long, believing that you were the meeting promised by the deepest dreams, the ones that appear when the mind no longer has the strength to protect itself. And now, you are here, in front of them. That moment that was imagined so many times is now real. Reality, however, is a strange thing. It can be harsh, cold, and sometimes merciless. The person who waited a lifetime to find you looks at you with eyes that no longer sparkle. The heart that once raced at the mere thought of having you close now beats in a controlled, almost apathetic rhythm. There is an absence in the gestures, in the looks, and even in the silence that echoes between you. What happened? Was the wait too long? Did time steal the desire, the charm, the magic of the meeting? Or maybe the ideal this person created of you in their thoughts is different from the reality in front of them. And there you are, wondering how someone who so desperately longed for your presence now seems not to want you anymore. It is a silent pain, hurting like an open wound but not visibly bleeding. Doubt gnaws at the chest and the mind. What did I do wrong? What changed along the way? Perhaps nothing really changed. Perhaps it is just the complexity of human feelings, which do not always follow the expected script. This person may have idealized a scenario, and somehow you didn't fit the character they created. But the problem is not you, and maybe not even them. It's the wait, it's time, it's the way expectations can be treacherous. What do you do in this situation? Giving up seems like an option, but at the same time it sounds like a cry of despair. The desire to be accepted is so human, so visceral, that the idea of not being wanted by someone you waited for feels like a cruel sentence. But the truth is, you can't force the reciprocity of a feeling that should be spontaneous, natural. This is a painful lesson to learn, but it is necessary. You are worthy of being truly loved, not for an unreal expectation, not for a fantasy that can never be attained. But there is still something more. Within you, there is the hope that this person might one day see beyond the image they created, that they might see you for who you truly are, with all your imperfections and peculiarities. Maybe, just maybe, true love can be born from this more authentic, raw perception. What are you feeling now? It's tough, isn't it? Disappointment is a heavy burden, especially when it results from an encounter that was supposed to be magical but wasn't. Could things have been different? Maybe. But life isn't made of maybes. It is what it is, in the present, in the now. And now, the person who waited so long for you doesn't want you the way you deserve. It isn't fair, but it's real. What remains for you is to accept the truth, as painful as it may be. However, remember something important. Your journey does not end here. You are more than this encounter. The fact that someone doesn't want you the way you desire doesn't diminish the value you have. Your essence, your light, your self-love need to remain intact, even in the face of rejection. After all, you deserve someone who wants you not just in the imagined desire, but in the reality of who you truly are. You deserve someone who sees you as a whole, without filters or unrealistic expectations, who embraces your shadows and shines together with your light. As painful as it is to realize that the person who waited so long for you now doesn't desire you, it doesn't mean your emotional journey is over or lost. In fact, this might be a new beginning, an opportunity for you to rediscover the strength that resides within yourself. It's understandable that rejection shakes your foundations, after all. Who doesn't want to be accepted by someone they've longed for so much? But maybe this is the starting point for a deeper reflection. Is the desire to be loved by this person greater than the love you feel for yourself? It's easy to forget about yourself when your heart is focused on another, especially when that other has symbolized the hope of a dreamed happiness for so long. But love, true love, should not be begged for. It should flourish spontaneously, like a garden that blooms after the rain, without forcing roots, without clinging to soil that doesn't want it. The pain you feel now is not just because you're not loved, but also because of the mourning of a dream that has dissipated. You nurtured expectations, imagined scenarios, and maybe even envisioned yourself living a story with this person. And now, it's as if these images are blurred by an unyielding reality. what to do with all these feelings that seem to have no place to go, how to deal with the frustration of a love that didn't find acceptance. First, it is necessary to recognize that pain is legitimate. There is nothing weak about feeling hurt or disappointed. On the contrary, acknowledging your emotions is an act of courage. Allow yourself to feel everything that comes without repression, without judgment. It might be in this process of feeling that you begin to understand that not everything depends on you. Sometimes the waiting shapes the other person in ways you could never imagine. The person who longed for you so much may have created an unattainable love in their mind, something that no one could fulfill, not even you, with all your good intentions. Accepting this truth can be a relief. Yes, it is a painful relief, but it is also liberating. You are not responsible for someone else's idealization, nor do you need to try to mold yourself to fit someone else's desire. The true encounter occurs when two souls are able to recognize each other beyond projections and fantasies. If this did not happen now, it doesn't mean it can't happen in the future, whether with this person or with another who is more willing to see you authentically. But the moment now belongs to you. A moment of re-encounter with yourself, to review your own expectations, to assess what you really want from a relationship, and to understand that love, as much as it is desired, needs to be reciprocal to be complete. It's not just about finding someone who is willing to be by your side, but about finding someone who also knows how to recognize the preciousness of what you offer. You have value regardless of someone's acceptance. Your value is intrinsic. It lies in the essence of who you are, and it cannot be diminished by a choice that doesn't depend on you. When someone doesn't want you the way you desire, there is a natural impulse to try to prove something. Maybe you feel the urge to show what the other person is missing out on, to fight to be seen, to persist until love is recognized. But true love is not a battle, it's not a competition, and it's definitely not an endurance test. It is a dance that should be danced by two with synchronized steps, even if clumsy. If one of the sides is not willing to follow the rhythm, it's not up to you to continue dancing alone. Life is full of meetings and partings, of loves that begin and others that end before they even start. This person who once waited so much for you and now doesn't desire you is part of a chapter in your story, but not the final chapter. Maybe they came to teach you something about the unpredictability of human feelings, about the need to value yourself before seeking external validation, or even about the importance of letting go of what no longer fits in your path. Your capacity to love is immense, and it should not be wasted on attempts to achieve the unattainable. Your love should be directed towards someone who is open to receiving it fully, without conditions, without restrictions. You deserve someone who not only waited for you, but is also willing to stay when they finally find you. If there is one truth that cannot be ignored, it is that the love you carry within yourself is a treasure, and like any treasure, it needs to be valued by those who truly understand it. It is a gift, a flame that illuminates, warms, and transforms. When you realize that someone doesn't want this flame, it's not just a rejection, but an invitation to protect your inner fire, to not let it be extinguished or diminished. This person who doesn't want you may not yet understand the value of what you offer. Perhaps they are trapped in a tangle of expectations that they themselves built, which do not correspond to who you really are. It's not easy, it's true. But maybe love is not a matter of immediate desire, but of deep recognition. Some people take time to see beyond the surface, to understand the true brilliance of a genuine soul. And, in this process, it is not up to you to despair or try to fit into an image that is not yours. You need to remember that your love is not a favor to be granted. It is a privilege for those who receive it, something that should be celebrated and reciprocated in an integral way. Do not diminish yourself trying to fit into a space that is not made for you. Your place is beside someone who recognizes the preciousness of what you have to offer, who understands that you are more than an ideal and is willing to build a real connection, imperfect but true. This is the difficult part to understand and accept. Not all the loves you come across are meant to last. Sometimes they arise just to teach you to value self-love even more, your ability to heal and renew yourself even in the face of rejection. And it is this capacity for emotional regeneration that makes you someone even stronger and more resilient. The pain, however intense, will one day be a distant memory. a scar that no longer hurts but serves as a reminder of your ability to move forward, to open yourself to the new. And in opening yourself up to the new, you encounter an important question. What do you really desire for yourself? Is it merely to be desired, or is it to be truly loved? Desire is ephemeral, often superficial, while love is solid, deep, built on the foundation of acceptance and mutual respect. You don't need to accept emotional crumbs, nor try to fit into expectations that weren't created by you. Instead, what you can do is continue to walk your own path, with the certainty that someone who is truly ready to know you, in essence, will appear. This person who once waited so long for you may not be ready for what you are, and that is a painful reality, but a necessary one to face. There are no guarantees in love, no absolute certainties. What exists is the true surrender, which must come from both sides sincerely and without reservations. If that doesn't happen, it's not because you are insufficient, but because the moment or connection didn't align as you hoped. And that's okay. That is part of the complexity of human relationships, the way souls meet and miss each other throughout life. What you can control is your own journey, the way you deal with this rejection, and even more the way you allow yourself to open up to new possibilities. Don't hold on to the idea that this is the only chance at love you'll have. Life is generous to those who are willing to keep their hearts open even after getting hurt. And you, more than anyone, deserve that generosity. Deserve to be loved by someone who not only waits for you, but is also ready to welcome you. Feel this truth within yourself. Allow yourself, as difficult as it may be, to let go of the weight of the expectations that this person created. You do not need to be their ideal, because true love is not based on ideals, but on shared realities, on comforting embraces, on looks that understand, and on silences that console. You deserve someone who not only wants you, but chooses you every day, consciously and fully. Therefore, now is the time to look inward and ask yourself, what do I want for myself? Is it worth investing more energy in someone who is not willing to see beyond appearances? Or is it time to move on, carrying with you the lessons learned and the certainty that true love is still to come, in a more genuine form, more compatible with what you have to offer? The choice is yours, it always has been. The pain you feel now is a transition, a path to something purer and closer to what you truly desire. Open yourself to the new, to the unexpected, to the love that is coming, the one that will not require you to be different from what you really are, but rather will embrace exactly who you are with everything that represents. So now that you have come this far, it is time to take a deep breath and allow yourself to feel everything that this experience has brought you. It is difficult, yes, but it is also transformative. You deserve a love that is genuine, that wants you wholly, and that is not based on expectations created by time or illusions. What you need now is to find peace in knowing that you did your best, that you gave yourself truly, and that you are more than someone's passing desire. Your worth lies in being exactly who you are, without masks, without the need to prove anything to anyone. Keep believing in love even after this disappointment, because what is true will cross your path in a more intense and pure way than you could imagine. Be patient with yourself, allow yourself the necessary time to heal, and keep your heart open for the encounters that truly make sense, for the hugs that comfort, and for the looks that truly see you. Now I want to hear from you. How did this message resonate within your heart? Leave your reflections on the topic in the comments. I really want to know how you deal with the fact that someone doesn't want you, even after waiting so long. And if you liked this content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. This helps me to continue bringing sincere and transformative messages. Also, share with someone you think needs to hear these words today. Let's go together, always towards true love and the appreciation of who we really are.